video, I'm going to show you step by step of how I make a skirt that is cut on the bias. Now I know a lot of people call this a bias skirt, so you might want to call it that, but I'm not using the satin material like a lot of people use. I'm using a velvet fabric. The only things you would need for this skirt is enough fabric, because we're going to cut the fabric on a bias. So if you're a size 6 or 8, maybe even a 10 Australian, then 1 meter of fabric is enough for you, which has a width of about 1.4 meters. Hi, my name is Seetal and I love talking about minimalism, mindfulness and lots of DIY, and in this video we're going to do a DIY. If you're new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe so you can follow me for more DIYs, and if you did like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and without wasting any more time, let's get started.
First things first, we need to get our measurements out of the way. Measure your waist circumference where you'd like the waist of the skirt to sit. Next, measure from your waist to your hemline where you'd like the skirt to fall. I kept mine to fall about 2 inches below the knee, and then you need to measure your waist to your hip distance. This is very important because next we're going to measure our hip circumference. So we need to know where to draw the hip circumference after drawing our waist circumference. Moving on to your fabric, I am using a stretch velvet fabric that is 1 meter by 1.4 meters. I first fold the fabric on its diagonal side or on its bias, and then smooth it out properly so I don't have any bubbles, so that when I cut my fabric it is as precise as I want it to be. And then I start by drawing out my waist circumference divided by 4 plus half an inch of seam allowance, and from this line I draw 1 inch above to give me enough seam allowance to sew the elastic waistband to the top of my skirt waist. I mark the distance from my waistline to my hip, and then I measure my hip circumference divided by 4 plus another half inch for seam allowance. Notice that I do not leave any more than half an inch for seam allowance because this is stretch fabric, so it's nice to have your fabric or your measurements drawn to fit, or rather true to size. And then I draw a curvy line using my French ruler from the hip to my waistline, but you could also draw a straight line. I've done it before and it works. And then you draw the distance or measure out the distance from your waistline to the hemline below, and the circumference for this, you don't need a circumference. You basically draw a slightly curvy line from the hip down. If you want it to really flare out, you can do a very flared out or even curvier line, or you could just draw a straight line down. I've done a skirt using a straight line. That's basically how you do an A-line skirt, and it works just perfectly fine. After you cut the first piece, you need to repeat by placing the first cut over another diagonal fold of your fabric, or an easier way to do this would be to actually first cut a pattern piece on a paper so that you can use the pattern piece over and over again, because this part gets a little bit fiddly because you need to smooth out the fabric to make sure that there are no bubbles. Leave me a comment below if you are finding this tutorial so far easy to follow. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video so far, so that I know that it is an easy to follow video, and also comment below on what else would you like me to make. I used an overlocker to go over all the 4 sides of the skirt. This is only because while this is a stretch fabric and it doesn't need an overlocking, my stretch fabric is velvet, so it had that little fur coming out, and that was really annoying me. You could use a zigzag stitch as well if you're using velvet fabric. Next, you need to pin the sides, right sides facing. A pro tip here would be to pin the skirt starting from the middle and then going out, because if you don't do this, the sides might run and it won't align together. And then we start by sewing the side seams with a sewing machine using a straight stitch. Now, another pro tip here is to use the right sewing needle. Now, this is knit fabric or jersey fabric and stretch velvet. So when you use jersey, knit fabric or stretch fabric, you need to use the right needle. If you do not use the right needle, your stitches will not sort of go into the fabric, and you will just not be able to sew. So always use the right needle. And also, you should ideally remove the pins as you sew, because if you don't, the needles will get a bit blunt or might even break. As you see here, I'm doing an overstitch. Now I do an overstitch about a 1/4 inch gap to the actual seam, because it makes all my garments look very professionally made, and it actually strengthens the seam even more. Next, we hang the skirt overnight. Now this is an optional step, but a lot of people say that when you sew skirts on a bias and when you hang it overnight, it might run. But mine here, after 24 hours, you can see it's only really ran by a little bit. I don't know if this is actually because the fabric had actually stretched a little bit here, or my cutting was just not as straight. However, maybe this doesn't really apply unless you're sewing with one of those heavy satin fabrics. This was velvet stretch fabric and it wasn't as heavy, it was a cheap fabric, so maybe that's why mine didn't really stretch as much. Next, we sew the elastic band. Now, make sure your elastic band is nice and snug, because when you sew, you tend to stretch the elastic band a little bit, so make sure it's nice and snug. And then when you sew it with a zigzag stitch and you close the ends, you need to mark on 4 corners of the elastic band, because you need to pin the elastic band then to the waist of the skirt on the right side of the skirt waist, right? So what I do is I've made these 4 marks there and it's easy for me to pin. I start by pinning the sides of the skirt to the elastic first, and then the center front and center back. This step is important so that we have the elastic waistband distributed evenly around the waist of the skirt. And then I went ahead and sewed the elastic to the skirt using a straight stitch. While sewing, you need to pull the elastic enough on top of the skirt to stretch it till the next pin, but do not stretch the velvet skirt itself, just the elastic, and do not overstretch this, including your velvet skirt, because then you will overstretch the elastic and it'll just be very ill-fitting, very loose. Once you've sewn that, turn the elastic to the outside of the skirt so it looks something like this, and then do a top stitch just in that stitch. This will keep the elastic from lowering outwards later, but do not overstretch. Again, do not overstretch. You just need to stretch it enough so the velvet is not wrinkled or not gathered. And then finally we turn the elastic back inwards and sew just the sides right in that same side seam that we sewed earlier, so that we can't really see the stitch and it hides it. This also helps to keep the elastic on the inside and stop it from rolling out. And lastly, you can finish your hem. With my hem, because I already did an overlock stitch all around it, so I just folded the fabric on itself, inside on itself, about 1/2 inch and sewed all around with a straight stitch. and that is it. Voila, here is the skirt. This is how I styled it. Just quite simply, if I was going to the market, picking up some shopping or some groceries, or getting the kids from school. It is summer here in Australia, nice and breezy. That's why I wanted to make a skirt instead of sewing something like a coat or jacket or something. And here I styled the skirt a little bit more formal with a lace top and some mules. So if I were to go out with the girlfriends for lunch or brunch, or maybe even dinner with the hubby.
And that's it. That's the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I tried to go a little slow because I did get comments that my videos tend to be a little fast and it's hard to follow for a beginner, but this is a very beginner friendly project. I literally did this project in under 30 minutes. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below if you found this video easy to follow, and if you found it difficult, let me know why. I will try to accommodate in my next video. Until I see you again, I hope you have a great day, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.